All right. That is going to be answered in today's show. Hello, everyone. My name is Anthony Barocas, and I am here for YoloLiv. I am broadcasting from my home studio, which is in the Dallas area, DFW area in Texas, which is in the United States. How do we do the scrolling ticker? Well, as you may know, there is a scrolling ticker built into the YoloBox, which I will call up right now. There's a scrolling ticker, and it looks like this. So this is the scrolling ticker in the YoloBox Pro. I believe it's also the Pro and the Mini have the same ticker, but the original YoloBox has an older version of this ticker that cannot be longer text than which fits on the screen. The Pro and the Mini have been upgraded so the text can actually be much longer, and it'll run through that. It'll push that graphic through. What you saw in the beginning, let me turn this off. What you saw in the beginning, which should be here. Yeah, it should actually still be playing. Let me come down to the Pro. And right here, this is actually being generated in the Overlay Lab. The Overlay Lab is YoloLiv's online content creation thing. Now, as you know, or I hope you know, if you use the YoloBox, you purchased it, it's yours, you do whatever you want with it, there's no monthly fee, you just use it. There's also a service called YoloCast, which is like a whole content delivery network. It will do hosting, it'll do streaming, you can do embedding, there's no ads, you can do snippets, there's a lot of features in there, 15 different multicasts in there, lots of features in YoloCast. YoloCast has a fee. The Overlay Lab and the titles are one of those key features that are available to YoloBox users to incorporate into the YoloBox. So here's my sources down the bottom here, and then over there to the right are my titles. So let me just go to a camera. Here's my camera. And the titles built in, you hit the little plus icon, and you have these 6 categories of titles. You have image overlays. Let's go into that. And these are just basically bring a picture in. Okay, that's what an image overlay is. So if you have a graphic, a bug, I don't think I have one in here. Let's keep going and see if I have a bunch of backgrounds is what I have. Lots and lots of backgrounds. I should probably reduce some of these backgrounds. Okay, I have a logo. So here is a YoloLiv logo. We'll bring this one in, done. So now I have a YoloLiv logo. I can put that anywhere I want. I can put that in the upper corner here. I can scale it. And then again, this auto hide thing you've got over here, that is so that you can say, go on for 10 seconds and then turn yourself off so that I don't have to use my hands and remember to do it. And I have that set on the comments. So when I bring up somebody's comment, I just turn it on and I know it'll go off by itself. I don't have to remember to turn it off. Done. So then I can just tap that graphic. There's my YoloLiv graphic. Hey, I'm talking to you. This is really great. And then you see the little countdown happening over top of the graphic there, 0, and then it fades out. I didn't have to do it. Super cool. Now, another really cool thing about the image overlays, and I apologize because I have to go scroll all the way to the bottom again, is they work with animated GIFs. And you can say GIF however you want. I say GIF as GIF. I have one here, done. So this is my animated GIF. If you wanted to have we're going to scale it down and put it, actually, you know what? We'll put it right there, done. Because what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to line those up. So let me do that. Oh, that's going to turn itself off. Let me go back in here, turn the auto hide, done. And so that's on. And then one of the cool things I forgot to mention is you see how the globe is behind the text? You can bring it in front. you can push it behind. There's layers. You can decide what's on top and what's on the back. So I am going to go back into here, and I am going to move. Oh, it went away. Move this over here, and I'm going to make it a little small. Oop, that might work. Done. You probably see what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to put it in the YoloLiv. But anyway, my point is that if you have an animated GIF, it comes up as an animated graphic, giving you motion graphics. Very cool. Now, these are both stuck here. Now, if I want to bring up both of those together, let's say somehow I magically got that into the right spot. We'll try one more time. Gonna try to scoot it to the left a little bit. Does that look right? It's right enough, okay? Now, if I wanted to bring these up together as if they were one logo, you have to tap one and then you have to tap the other. That's a problem. But you see, I have two versions of me down here. I have this one, the PIP video, and I have that one. Actually, what I can do is I will take the HDMI, I will do a crop, but not do a crop. Fit to screen, done. I've shown this before. This is where you create a virtual version of you. Now, so now you see down here it says HDMI 1.1, or I'll point like here, 1.1 right there. I'm going to use that as another version of me. Let's cut to that. And then I turn on this one and I lock it. And I turn on this one and I lock it. So, and when I say lock, what I'm doing is I'm hitting that little lock icon. You see that red lock icon? I'm locking it to this input. I've locked two titles to this input. Now, when I switch this off, both those titles go away. Actually, let me touch off of that for a second. So when I touch to bring up HDMI 1.1, both of them come on. Now, the order's wrong, and I can fix that. But you see, I'm bringing in multiple titles with one tap. And then I'm bringing it away with one tap. That's really cool. So you have those image overlays. You also have lower thirds, which I'm pretty sure everybody has probably messed around with. There's all these lower thirds built into here. And in addition to, like, wow, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 different versions. And then, of course, with each of these, you can customize them. So if you picked this Jenny Wong, you can move it up and down. You can change the font. You can change the size of the different elements. You can change the colors. And then you could also do the offset, so your version is not going to look like somebody else's version because you're going to change it. Somebody might want it up there, and then of course you've got the auto hide down the bottom. I'm not going to activate that one. Next up, we've got the countdown timer, which I use pre-show. You've got two different versions here. These are built into the YoloBox. Next up, we have the web URL overlays, which we'll get to. We have titles. These are full screen. That's really what these entail. These are full screen things. So welcome to the show is like over the whole screen, and it kind of darkens everything behind it, which is also really cool if you're doing like a live concert. You can have things, the camera on the stage on there, but you can have this graphic over top of it. And remember, you can have multiple layers. So you can have you can have that countdown timer. You can have your text here in addition to welcome to the show. So if you needed more lines of text, you can have more lines of text. Or this text here one is actually a really, really cool one. So you can have this text here. But the really neat thing is you can change the angle of it. So if you wanted, I don't know, vertical text like that, 91 degrees, you can tap on the degrees and get it right to 90 degrees, done. And that is something I begged for. And then you can move it anywhere, so you can have text on the edge of the screen here like that. You can change the scale, so it's really big. So there's a lot of flexibility in these titles so that you're creating titles that work for you. You're not locked to what somebody else is doing. You don't like the red, you can change the red. Make it blue. Change the font. Don't like Roboto? Go with prompt. Don't like the text color? Make it yellow. You know? And if I had it in the middle and it was not, there we go. You can change the dimming level of the back. That's for the background, how dark the background is. How much vertical padding you want, how much horizontal padding you want. There's even a little corner radius. You can make it look like a button. Buy now. Corner radius, how tight you want the radius to be. I mean, how transparent you want it to be. You can really dial in the settings for your titles. So dig in. Test, play with it. It's your, if you have a YoloBox, it's your device. Go in, play with stuff. Learn all the things that it can do, because there's a lot of things built in here that a lot of people are saying, how do I do this? I'm like, it does it. You just have to like go and play with it. Done. So now I've got this like text here. No, don't text here. Just watch the show. And we have one more called social media overlays. And there is Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and LinkedIn included. But if you remember on when I did that thing in the beginning, I said, you can mail us. Look, there's a little mail icon. How did I get that? Again, play with this. This one looks a lot like that Facebook one, doesn't it? So let's open that Facebook one. And, you know, you do whatever you want there. You can write. It says @username, but you can write whatever you want. You know, you can say, done. Now it's not at anything. It's a certain thing. And then, see where it says logo? You click on logo. Down at the bottom there, it says customize. You can put in your own logo. And that means if you wanted to have a company logo, if you wanted to have, like I used a little mail icon I grabbed off the web. Just a little picture of a mail. So, you know, send us an email. It could be a big @ if you want to do an email, you know, like that. And that is where you can put it. It'll, you know, automatically crop it and fit it into that little hole there. And that is where you get to make it yours. So that is a really cool feature. Actually, I think, do I have that icon on here? Probably not. And if not, we'll load that little globe to see if the, there it is. See, you see the little mail icon I got there? And here's the globe. But here, let's just say you're doing a school. Let's do that one. Done. Look at that. That's cool, right? So you can have, you know, for a team, you can have a little team and player's name or the player's little social media thing and stuff like that. And you can have one for every player with the team logo. And this is the one we're going to talk about now. This is the web URL overlay. As you can see over here, this is the overlay library. So once you log into YoloLiv using the same account, you log into your YoloBox directly. You're going to come over here. Now, you can come up here to events, and I have no events. I have past events that I've done. Here's some of my past events. Some of them were awesome. So this is where I was saying you could create an event, and this is where you could create an RTMP event going to Facebook. So this is where you can do it. And when you do it here, it will show up on your device. But this is where having it on the computer makes it easy to copy the stuff from Facebook and paste it into this other page on a web browser. Facebook, YoloCast. Facebook, YoloCast. Makes it super easy to copy and paste the really long, complex URLs and stream keys that are what make RTMP and SRT work. So that's where you would do that. That is just a quick aside. Let me cancel this. And we're going to come down here to URL overlays. You tap on that, and this 3 opens down here. There's an overlays library. So I'm going to click on that. And you can see, look, there's a baseball scoreboard with a diamond on it, and teams and team logos. Look at this one. This is a horizontal thing with logos and other information, first half and a clock and other data underneath of it. And look, there's a flag here and there's a flag there. And here's a different version of that. And here's a different version. There's all these different scoreboards in here that you can use as part of your YoloBox. And another key advantage to using YoloCast is you can have someone else do the scoring. Now, I know you can do the scoring. Let's look at the Pro again. I know you can do scoring with the built-in scoreboard that's in here. So let's turn on the scoreboard display. There it is. Look at that. I can position it down here, and but it's a real challenge to like switch cameras and let's look at the overhead. It's a real challenge to like switch cameras and team one got they got 3 points. Oh wait, now I have to come over here and do this, and then I have to come over here and do that, and then oh wait, I have comments. Oh wait, let me come back over here and do a different title. Oh wait, let me switch cameras. It's a real challenge to manage all of that on one screen. And I know that the Mini is even more of a challenge because you don't have this section and this section. You don't have two separate sections whereby you could leave it on scoreboard and switch cameras. You can't do that on the Mini. So if you have a Mini, it's even more valuable to make use of the YoloCast scoreboard, because with the YoloCast, you can have somebody else with their phone or an iPad or a Android tablet or a laptop or something with another connection to the internet to reach into the internet and adjust those titles and change the scores and update the scoreboard. And then all you do is on your Pro, you call, let's go to the overhead. You just call that title up. This title and this title, actually all three of these titles, are coming from YoloCast. So when I did that cool ticker, actually, let me get rid of the scoreboard. Go away. When I did this cool ticker, this ticker is actually coming from YoloCast. So let's go over to the laptop, and you will see when you come down to My Overlays, here is the ticker. This ticker that I created with the logo and the text and the diagonal line and the text over here, that which you see in the Pro down here, this is actually coming live from YoloCast. So I'm not able to do anything with this because it's a web template. All I'm able to do is position it in this. And add the auto hide if you wanted to come up and go away. But I wanted this one to stay up there the whole time. So it is just scrolling all of this text here. Done. But where do you enter that text? You enter that text right here. So we're going to open this control. Bum, bum, bum. And you see, this is live on the internet. So here it is. Here's the logo. Here's the type. Duration is 0. I wanted to be up there the whole time. I called it Tech Talk. That's this text right here. I put a little logo in here, right there. If you did a PNG, it would cut away. I happened to just grab the logo, the YoloBox Pro logo directly. And then down here is the position, horizontal and vertical. So I've got it pushed all the way down to the bottom here. And then here's my text. Today we talk all things title like this crawling graphic. So come prepared with your blah, 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 blah. And then I say time. How much time you want to give this text to go across. So if I take this thing and I say, 10 seconds. Ooh, that's... You see that text over there on the bottom? Okay, that's the other key thing to show you. This is the preview. I've made changes, but they have not been sent out to my Pro yet. They have not been updated. This is the preview. I could look at that and say, oh, wow, yeah, that's way too fast. Let's make that a little slower. So we're going to speed this up. I was doing 30 before. Let's do 21. There you go. That's a little better, you know? Or if 30 was still too fast. Okay, there you go. 39, 40. I'm just tapping the trackpad. 40 is even slower. And then you come up to this update. You click update. And now the top one and the bottom one, my preview and what is on my Pro are exactly the same. So let's do that extreme one again just to make it clearly evident. So I'm going to take this all the way back down to single digits again. That's going pretty fast, right? Now I'm not going to hit update just yet. Let me go to my Pro. You can see it's still slow. I'm going to wait till that starts again. And then I'm looking at my laptop over here. Here it comes. Now I'm going to hit update. This is somebody who can read really fast. Okay? So we really don't want anything that's going that fast. So we're actually going to slow it down. It's on 8 to 9, 30. So this lets you change a bunch of different parameters, do all these different things, see what the difference is before you send it live, which is really cool in terms of doing sports scores. You can make changes and then update. How can I update my YoloBox firmware? Well, let's show you this thing real fast. Let's go over to the Pro. Actually, you're looking at the Pro right now. This is the output of my Pro. So let me come over here and let me turn the program out off. So this is the Pro. And I am going to, how can I update my Pro software? So we're going to exit, done. Boom, boom, boom. You come over here to the little person and you come down to here where it says version and upgrade. And if you tap that a couple times, it'll tell you I'm on the latest version. If you're not on the latest version, when you tap the upgrade, it'll say, oh, wait a minute, you need to be upgraded. So that's really all you need to do to update your device is just tap on that red update thing. Interestingly enough, it's always there. Even if there's not an update, the word update is always there in red. It's just that you tap on it. It's like a button as opposed to just an alert. It's not an alert telling you there's an update. It's actually more of a button. So when you tap on it, it will then check and say, no, you're good. You've got the latest version for you. Have a blessed day. Bought a YoloBox Pro in the Manila, Philippines. I recommended HDMI cables. I purchased a 30 feet, but it keeps on a cycle. But under 3 feet, it functions fine. Yes. I just put together a video. It just went live in the, actually, let me jump out here. Days ago, I talk about the difference between SDI, HDMI, and NDI cabling. And one of the things that HDMI generally can't do is do great distances. Now, there are fiber optic versions of HDMI that will do long distances with no problem. But SDI, which is a different, as you can see the picture, is a different version of cabling. SDI is a much more reliable connection for long distances. And it's also a bayonet mount, so you actually push it in, twist it, and it locks into place, so it can't be accidentally yanked out or bumped. Whereas HDMI is much more fragile. Somebody can bump it, and it could, like, you know, come askew. You can break the connector inside of whatever you've got it plugged into. So that is a video that will answer your question. There are short answer, fiber optic, longer answer, converted to SDI, especially if it's a really long run. I updated my YoloBox Mini last night, and now the video input is squished and cropped. Is there a way to revert to previous OS? Unfortunately, no. The way Android is, Android does not have a facilitation for reverting back to previous firmware. Like if you have an Android phone or an Android tablet, and your carrier, or you update to the latest version of Android, there's not like, oh, no, go back. There's not a function for that in Android. And that's unfortunate. What I would recommend, though, is usually after a large firmware update, do a reset. And you can see that in, let's go to here. Go over here. Done. Go over here. You can do a factory reset. And what it's going to do here is it's going to throw away anything that you've got cached, any settings, any things that you've got loaded, graphics or whatever. It's going to get rid of them from your shows. It's going to forget all your shows. You're going to have to log in new again. But part of that cleaning out process usually resets any trouble that you may have after a firmware update. So usually it's just a problem in between old projects, old caches, and the new firmware causes a little bit of idiosyncrasies. I've actually been quite lucky. I haven't had to do that because I've got a lot of shows on my thing. But resetting doing the firmware reset, first thing I would recommend is do a long press for like 12 seconds, and it'll force it to reboot and clear a light cache. If that does not work, then do the firmware reset there, and that will help it. I will do my sum up, but I thank you all for being here. If you're watching on Facebook, know that we have a YoloLiv tech channel, and there's lots of really good information there. If you are watching on YouTube, know that we have an official YoloLiv user group. Everyone is free to join, and it's a good group because lots of great people there sharing information, helping each other out, getting us all to making great content. And if there's something that they can help you with, there is a support@YoloLiv.com email where you can email the people direct and hopefully get your questions answered. Again, my name is Anthony Barocas. I am an independent content producer in Dallas, Texas. Happy to be here every week to help you guys out. I hoped this look at YoloBox titles and Overlay Lab has helped you understand that there's more to the titles than meets that first appears to the eye. Not only is everything in the YoloBox really customizable, you can make it your own and lots of flexibility, but the Overlay Lab online, it has so much more content, so much more variety, so much more capability and flexibility because you can have somebody else doing scoreboards while you're switching an event. And you can build things from scratch as well. So I hope that helps all of you understand some of the amazing capabilities that YoloLiv, should do it this way, YoloLiv is making available for you to make your streams as good as possible. With that, I will bid you adieu till next week. See you then.